Ooh, what's up, Internet? My name's David Webb.
I'm Ariel Edwards.
We get nerdy nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
That is right. Welcome back to another week. A Monday edition of the Nightly Morning Show here at twitch.tv/nerdynightly. If you are catching this on our YouTube or podcast feeds later on, please know that you can come watch this show live stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, every weekday, 10 a.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/nerdynightly. And it's a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I have fun.
Yeah, me too.
Well, you know what? That's what matters.
And if you like that intro...
It's on every single one of our videos. So,
it's not. It's different every time.
Well, I mean, the gist of it is on every single
That's fair.
one of
I
our
did
videos.
like that Richard Sim7's response in the chat to that particular intro was, "Do you like jazz? Do you like jazz?"
Oh, God.
Y'all, very fun week ahead of us. It is the first day of Christmas week. Christmas this year is on Friday. It is Christmas.
Yeah.
It is the season. We have no decorations on the set. We are bad streamers.
I should have got the Christmas tree.
And just had it, like, in front of me.
Yeah.
But we are getting ready for a bunch of Christmas fun. On Wednesday night, if you are in our private Discord, the Art Underground, you can join us Wednesday night for a movie watch-along. We're going to be doing a streaming movie of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Which is going to be very fun privately within the Discord. And then we're going to hang out for a bit afterwards with y'all. Mm-hmm. And that's very fun. We're very excited to do that on Wednesday night. That's going to start at like 7-ish?
7-ish. Yeah, we'll probably say hi to everybody. The movie will start around like 7:15. Just to make sure we're all set up. And then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, and then on Christmas Day, we are going to be streaming the morning show as usual. We're not going to take the day off. And then we're actually going to keep going. For those of you who maybe aren't with family this year, who need a place to spend the holidays, please consider coming join us. We're going to be building a gingerbread TARDIS.
Yep.
If the gingerbread comes out okay when we bake it. And we're also going to be playing some fun Christmassy games. So if you don't have somewhere to be on Christmas, come hang out with us because we don't have anywhere to be. We are stuck in our apartment.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be fun.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Very talented.
It was kind of a crazy weekend.
Yeah.
It felt very busy.
It was busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
I mean, and we also had our Patreon movie night on Saturday.
We did, yeah, it was very fun.
Yeah.
We watched Love Actually, a movie that I have a lot of problems with, but that I do enjoy. It's a weird. There's some misogyny in that film that is like, woof.
Yeah. You're like, oh, yikes.
But then there's also some really great scenes.
And then there's also, like, Liam Neeson and...
The boy, Jojen Reed.
Yeah. Jojen Reed. Oh, I forgot that he was... Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh no, that's Jojen Reed.
Yeah, you're right.
As a young lad.
He is such a cute, kid.
Oh, adorable. And so mature and so composed.
Yeah. I'm like, who are you?
I also just love Bill Nighy.
Yeah. Like,
Bill Nighy, we've done the last two Patreon movie nights have been Bill Nighy movies. Because we did About Time, and then we did Love Actually. I was about to say Actually in Love, and I was like, that doesn't sound right.
Wait, that's wrong.
But it was also busy for a lot of people. Should we get right into the news?
Absolutely.
It was a busy weekend for the team at Warner Brothers trying to market their movie internationally. When things are just not great for movie theaters, it is tough to make money in that menu, and Wonder Woman went on to not do that. Unfortunately, when looking at the international box office of the weekend, Wonder Woman disappointed with a $38.5 million weekend for its opening weekend.
Yeah. And you said the last Wonder Woman had...
The last Wonder Woman made $38 million in China alone on its opening weekend.
Yeah.
This Wonder Woman made $18.8 million in China, which is about half.
Yeah.
Despite receiving similar scores from Chinese critics and Chinese audience fan interaction sites, the film came in at about half of its Chinese take, and it came in at just $38.5 million overseas across all markets that it opened in, which was the majority of the international markets that the film is going to open in.
Yeah.
This was about half of what The Rescue, the mainland Chinese film that came out the same weekend. That movie came out to $35 million.
Oh, wow. Okay.
While the Wonder Woman film's take in China was about half of the take of The Rescue, and about half of what Wonder Woman 1's take was, The Rescue is actually a huge disappointment.
Really?
The director of The Rescue's last film in China, which I have the title here. No, I don't. His last film opened to $137 million opening weekend in China. So that film dropped off by over $100 million from the director's previous film. And the Chinese box office for this weekend, which is typically a strong weekend, the weekend before Christmas, is typically a pretty significant box office weekend in China. This weekend is down 34% from the same weekend last year. Oh. So even with theaters open in China, they're saying that there was a pretty strong cold snap that might have contributed, among other concerns about the resurging coronavirus.
Fair.
But this is a pretty big drop-off from the same weekend last year, same time frame.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I am not surprised that less people are going to the movies. That's just kind of what it is. I think that people are trying to be smart. They're not. They don't want to risk putting anyone in danger just to go see a film, and I understand that. And theaters are probably not open at 100% capacity.
Yeah, I don't think they are.
So I'm sure a lot of people are of the mindset that if it's a full theater, they don't want to be there anyways. And those are pretty big popular movies. I don't know if I was there and like all the movie theaters were open, if I would risk it. Like, we've talked about going to see Wonder Woman here and like driving to like a smaller town in the area and trying to see it in like the safest way possible. But I mean, there's just so many people and I can completely understand I completely see why this did not do as well.
Mello the Bard asked, besides numbers, were the reviews good? And I would say they're mostly very positive.
Yeah.
They're not the sort of landmark, you have to go see this movie, that Wonder Woman 1 got. But Wonder Woman 1 was also a different film. Wonder Woman 1 came out as a female-led superhero movie in a time where that felt like more of a landmark moment.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
It was a very big deal, and it also was a very popular film. Like, people really, really, really loved that movie. I think that the Wonder Woman brand right now is a little bit tougher to sell because of the state of the DC universe as a whole. When the first Wonder Woman came out, we were leading towards Justice League. We were on this like march towards this big team-up movie that everyone was very excited for. That movie kind of fizzled pretty hard, and for the last few months we've been hearing nothing but these talks about problems on the Justice League set and allegations towards Warner Brothers, and I feel like that has hurt this movie as well, just because it all kind of gets lumped together. But critics who have seen the movie, and some of the people in our chat who have seen the movie, have said that it's a good movie and it's worth seeing. And we will see it as soon as we can. We just aren't sure when that's going to be. Yeah,
we're in Canada, so we don't have HBO Max. So we have to, we kind of have to see it in theaters. Yeah. If we want to see it anytime soon.
Well, and what's interesting, right, is that there's going to be a huge push of people who see it this weekend. But and this is kind of the question, right? So it disappointed in China.
Yeah.
Here's the question. Let's look at the domestic box office. The international push was not good. 38 million for a movie this big is a very disappointing opening weekend. Yeah. And I'm not saying that as I'm not a Wonder Woman hater. I'm very excited for this film, but 38 million is a disappointing number. Yeah. The movie cost 200 million to make. They have to cross 400 million to break even, at least, probably 550. Yeah. If I'm being honest.
Because of all the re-advertising.
Well, and because of like the deals that they've struck with movie theaters internationally to help the movie theaters stay open, like we don't know if they're even going to get a full 50% take. The take that a movie gets from a film in China is typically in the 30%, and the Chinese box office keeps the other 60 to 70%.
Wow.
So there is they're not even getting all of that money back. So the question really becomes, how much is it going to make domestically this weekend? And if we look at this past weekend, it's not great for Wonder Woman. And granted, the big release in North America this weekend was Monster Hunter, which has a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not a movie that people are banging down the doors to see.
Yeah.
And Capcom and the studio behind the film did not really do a marketing push in North America the way they did in Asian markets, which of course didn't work out because the Chinese box office pulled the movie.
Yeah.
But Monster Hunter did open in the United States, where less than 37% of movie theaters are open, and it opened to $2.2 million over the course of the whole weekend.
Wow.
In comparison to that, the majority of big budget movies make more than $2.2 million in Thursday night previews. So this is a bad take.
That's rough.
The top 5 of the weekend are actually Monster Hunter with $2.2 million, The Croods: A New Age, the new second Croods movie.
Yeah.
That movie had a $2 million weekend in, I believe it's third weekend in release. But that movie has grossed $27 million at the domestic box office, which is not, I will say, as far as this goes, that's not bad. Yeah. As far as, there's 37% of the box office open, Croods takes $27 million, they're about to go to VOD. That movie actually is probably doing okay.
Yeah.
I imagine the studio is happy with that number.
Yeah.
Fatale has 925,000. Never heard of that movie. Don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But then in number 4 at the domestic box office is Elf. Elf comes in with $365,000, obviously boosted by the holidays.
I mean, yeah, people love Elf. Like, Elf is gonna end up becoming, well, it kind of already is, a, like, classic Christmas movie in the sense that, like, that's what people watch around the holidays.
Yeah, a couple of other Christmas movies re-released for the holidays. The Polar Express came in at number 6. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, the best vacation movie, came in at number 8. And How the Grinch Stole Christmas came in at number 10, with The Grinch coming in at number 12. I think The Grinch is the Illumination
Benedict
one.
Cumberbatch one. Yeah.
And then I think How the Grinch is Jim Carrey. So Jim Carrey beat Benedict Cumberbatch at the box office this weekend by about $15,000.
Wow.
But $2.2 million for Monster Hunter. Here's the thing. In a normal year, a bad movie, if Monster Hunter's bad, I haven't seen it. No judgment yet. I'm excited to see it. I love the franchise. If it is a bad movie typically does better than that.
Yeah.
This is being hurt by Corona. And the question is, does Wonder Woman have a chance to make any money next weekend? Is there any possibility that it's going to happen?
Honestly, I don't really think so. Just with things being so shut down as they are. I mean, the whole province of Ontario is going into a lockdown. Yeah.
We're going to have to drive to Quebec to see this movie. And it's going to be in French, so...
Oh my god. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I kind of think that they're screwed.
Here's the thing. It's not going to look like it at first. Yeah. They're going to make no money, but... Oh boy. Y'all, the Monday after Christmas, that first show back, you know what we're going to be talking about? You know what our title story is going to be? Warner Brothers declares Wonder Woman the greatest success in streaming history. Because that's what they're going to spin it. They're going to spin this as Warner Brothers. You know what? We took a risk. We were brave and bold, and we put Wonder Woman on the streaming service.
We screwed everybody over, and it worked well for us.
Yep, and they're going to say that, and it's going to be a lie. They're going to lose money on Wonder Woman. But they're going to say that because they're looking at the long game of HBO Max and hoping that will be profitable eventually. Yeah. It's not right now. But, maybe one day it will be.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. If they release it in more countries than just just America. Because right now we can't even get it. And we're very close.
Misguided Gamers Live in the chat saw Monster Hunter and says that it's decent. Wishes they focus less on the main character and more on the monsters. Not many monsters, but still a fun movie to watch at least once. Misguided, as a big Monster Hunter fan, you know what? I'll take that. I'll take something that I just enjoy.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm excited to see the effects. Based on reviews and such, I'm not holding out hope for, like, a riveting storyline or characters, but I am excited for the effects and how it's shot. Yeah. Trying to find positive things to focus on.
I really like the way the Rathalos and the Diablos look in the trailer. So I just want to see them. I just want to be like, oh, it's a Rathalos.
Yeah.
It's sort of like when I think it was the 4th Transformers movie came out, and I was sitting in the theater, and I was like, wow, this movie is not good. And then the Dinobots came out, and I was like, I literally stood up in the theater, and I was like, yeah! And I was so excited, because Dinobots. It was great.
Yeah.
And yes, they're only in like 4 minutes of the movie, but they're the best 4 minutes of that movie by far.
Go on. I haven't seen it, so...
Yeah, she's never seen a Transformers movie. There's 2 good ones. The first one and Bumblebee. Good movies. Everything else is questionable.
Okay.
I'm very curious to see what happens this weekend. I'm very curious to see how many people sign up for HBO Max and how many people cancel their subscription come Monday morning.
Yeah. Yeah, no, literally. They're like, I'm watching it I'm getting it just for Wonder Woman, and then that's it.
I wonder if we're going to see a boost in VPNs in Canada. I wonder if, like, VPN sales will be up this weekend. Like, I wonder if NordVPN is like, guys, they're in their offices like, y'all, get ready. There's going to be a big push from Canadian subscribers this weekend as they all get their VPN so they can watch Wonder Woman.
I honestly would not be surprised at that at all. Yeah.
Dark Dispatch is saying, should we watch Wonder Woman on HBO Max or not? Dark Dispatch, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. Like, is it the right call? Should we send a message to Warner Brothers by not doing it? They're going to do it anyway. So if that's the only way that you can watch it, I think that you should watch it and enjoy the movie. I don't think it's the way that the filmmakers or anyone involved would like you to enjoy the movie. I think that everyone involved would prefer you saw it in a theater because, you want that communal experience. But since you can't have that right now, if you want to watch it. And I think that if you can watch it, go see it. Watch it from home. Mm-hmm. If we could watch it from home, we'd watch it from home. We understand it's 2020. I'm more concerned about the back half of 2021 films going to streaming. I'm not really concerned about Wonder Woman ultimately.
Yeah.
Because
it is what it is.
They can't have held it much longer. It would have just lost steam. People would have lost interest eventually.
Yeah, that's the thing. They had to put it out in some form.
Yeah.
So
we will be watching Soul on Christmas night to watch the new Disney Plus movie that I'm very excited for.
Honestly, it looks great.
Yeah.
It's funny, I haven't seen advertising for it the way that I've seen for Wonder Woman and stuff like that. We watched the trailer together, and I haven't seen much marketing for it, but I'm actually, like, really excited for that movie.
Do you think movies straight to streaming will be a thing now, like Mulan and Wonder Woman? Misguided, yes and no, right? Like, I think that there are still going to be movies made for streaming. The live-action Lady and the Tramp was made for streaming. Obviously next year we're going to see Pinocchio and Peter Pan, the live-action Disney movies going straight to streaming. We already talked about that on the show. And there's other films from Disney that might go that way. Cruella, the Emma Stone, Cruella de Vil prequel might go straight to streaming next year, although we don't have an official announcement on that. Soul is going straight to streaming. I think that people are going to keep making movies for the streaming services. That's been a thing.
Well, HBO is.
Netflix makes movies for streaming. Look at Extraction, The Old Guard.
Yeah.
Beasts of No Nation, which is a great Netflix movie from a few years ago. If you want to watch something that's a little dark.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
It's a tough watch.
That was a tough watch, but it's a very good movie.
About child soldiers in Africa. I'm only saying that because I don't want anyone to go into that movie not knowing what it is. But it is an incredibly made movie, and Idris Elba gives a landmark performance in that film.
He's incredible.
They also, I was on the nominating committee for the SAG Awards that year, and Netflix sent all of the members of the nominating committee it was this like cardboard CD case, and when you opened it up, on the right side was the CD of the movie, and on the left side was a little screen that when you opened it automatically started playing the trailer for the movie. It was wild. It was the most expensive, and granted, I think there's like 2,500 people in the nominating committee, but I was like, literally, I opened it and I was like, oh, that's a little screen, and then I like ripped the whole thing open because I was like, can I use this as like is this like a tablet? Like, what is it? And it was just a screen. It was literally just like an LCD panel and then a chip, and it played that one trailer. But I was literally like, this is like, they spent like thousands of dollars to get nominated, and they didn't. I voted for them though.
Oh, that's
they did not.
Bad.
Well, it was a good year. It was a good year for movies. Yeah, it was wild.
Huh, okay.
But to go back to what we were saying, as long as they have streaming services, they're going to make content for them.
Totally. Oh yeah, that's like that. They're already making money off that kind of thing. We're absolutely going to see that happen.
But I don't think that big budget movies are going to keep going to streaming services. I think that those will keep going to cinemas.
Unless you're with HBO.
But here's the thing. It's all going to depend on how many subscribers HBO picks up in the next year. If they can get to a number... Because let's just be realistic about numbers right now. Disney Plus has 68 million subscribers.
Yeah.
HBO Max has 12. If HBO Max can get to a point like Disney, where it is making that kind of money, then the potential is there. But there's two factors to this. First of all, HBO Max is twice the cost of Disney Plus after Disney Plus increases by $1 next year. HBO Max is $15 a month, and Disney Plus is going to be $7.99. So HBO Max is a significantly more expensive streaming service. And granted, it does have a lot of content. And it has more variety of content than Disney Plus currently does, because Disney Plus does not have a lot of adult content. It is very PG-13, very child-friendly. But that might change next year. So we're looking at a marketplace where you're really... HBO Max has to justify its more expensive cost, but it can't really justify its more expensive cost until it gets more subscribers to justify spending that money on the film. Yes. So they're in kind of a difficult position. And I feel like they're looking at 2021 as, we've already spent this money on these movies. Mm-hmm. We're probably not going to make that money back on those movies. So let's put them on HBO Max and try and get HBO Max to like a 50 million subscriber range where it's profitable. Because HBO Max can't run at 12 million subscribers. Mm-hmm. Like, long term, that is not a viable position for the streaming service to be in.
Well, and they need to make it more widely available.
Oh, 100%.
Like of course they only have 12 million.
To be fair, it's also a fledgling service.
Yeah.
That plans to expand to... I've heard they want to be in over 50 countries by the end of next year.
Totally. It's just like, you can't expect much more than that in this moment when you are only available in one country. A big country, but still, it's like... I mean, I'm sure there are tons of people out there who would be like, yeah, I would get HBO Max if I could.
Oh, I would have it if I was in... Oh, yeah, we would have it.
Yeah.
100%.
I think,
access to all the Disney... Or to all the DC movies.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that they're making this a priority because it's how they're going to make money, but it's just one of those things where I'm like, guys, come on.
It's interesting, though, right? Because there is a difficulty in adapting HBO Max to Canada right now, because HBO's content, a lot of the superhero content especially, is already in Canada in a licensing deal with Netflix Canada. And so if they roll out HBO Max in Canada, shows like Titans, which is an HBO Max original series now that DC Universe is dead. The next season of Titans will be an HBO Max original series, will premiere in Canada on Netflix because of their licensing deal. And HBO Max would not be able to have its own content in Canada until that licensing deal with Netflix ran out, or they bought it out. And so rolling out HBO Max in Canada is actually more complicated than just putting it here.
Right.
There are licensing deals on the content that exists currently on American HBO Max that are currently with Netflix in Canada or other services. Crave has a lot of those licensing deals.
So wait, the deals say that it's like exclusive to Netflix. Okay.
So they wouldn't be able to compete with their own licensing deals. And so HBO Max would be a difficult rollout in some countries, initially because they wouldn't have all of their content.
Yeah.
Ford of Nerd in the chat is saying HBO Max has been around for longer than you think. They just rebranded HBO Go and Now.
Yeah.
Sort of Ford of Nerd. So HBO Go and Now were an HBO streaming service, which was exclusive to HBO content. Mm-hmm. With the rebrand to HBO Max, what happened was Warner Brothers put all of Warner Brothers content under the umbrella of HBO Max.
Yeah.
And so they turned it from an HBO streaming service into an HBO Warner Brothers umbrella streaming service.
Yeah.
And so it was I actually had HBO Go in the States.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for years. It wasn't mine. It was my friend's.
You shared it.
No, you know what? It was actually true story. I broke up with a girl, and I continued to use her mother's HBO Go for like 2 years after we broke up.
Wow.
It was logged in on my device. Sorry, HBO. I've given you plenty of money.
Oh my god.
Actually, HBO might be the one company who has given me more money than I've given them. Because I've catered a lot of their parties in New York.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I have actually worked for HBO. They might be the one content creator who I've actually made more money than I've given back to.
That's fair.
But HBO Max is an umbrella streaming service built out of the idea of HBO Now, which was the digital-only version of HBO, or the no-cable version of HBO Go. Right. HBO's a mess. And
they also included the DC...
Yeah, DC Universe is under the Warner Brothers umbrella.
Right.
Yeah, Warner Brothers owns that. So DC Universe also got brought into the HBO Max, but the comics didn't. So DC Universe is now the same price, but there's less content on it. You only get the comic content, none of the other stuff.
Yeah, which kind of sucks.
Which makes it a comparison to Marvel's Marvel Unlimited streaming service, which isn't a part of Disney Plus, but should be. Very
confusing.
I truly wish Marvel, if I can have one thing, Disney, put like $1 add-on option and I get Marvel Unlimited with my Disney Plus subscription. Because they put out the deal, right? There's the deal out there that is Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu as a bundle.
Yeah.
And they don't bundle Marvel Unlimited in there, and I don't know why. Add the comics to the bundle.
Yeah.
Let me have that.
You would pay.
Well, no, I wouldn't here because Hulu and ESPN Plus aren't in Canada.
I know. But that's semantics.
Ford of Nerd thinks they should have called it HBO Plus. I think they should have called it Warner Brothers Plus or something like that because it's not HBO. It's more than HBO. And I think that HBO Max is a bad title because it makes you think that it's an HBO streaming service and it's not. It is so much more than that.
It definitely sounds like it to me. That's why that's why I'm always surprised when people are like, "Oh, no, HBO has a lot of content." I'm like, "Really?"
Because it's all of Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
But I honestly think keeping the HBO title was a mistake.
Yeah. But well, I don't know. That's tough though because you have people who, are with HBO Go and then they recognize that and completely changing it. I don't know. I don't understand marketing. I've never gone to school for that kind of thing, but I can see why they might want to keep that semi-consistent.
Miss Guy Gamer says, do you think that Flash, Arrow, and Legends will get taken off Netflix then? Yes, eventually they will, and they'll live on HBO Max.
Yes.
Hardcore Soft Popcorn, that's a funny name. I like that. I hate that bundle. I can't add Disney Plus and ESPN Plus because I have the ad-free version of Hulu. That is very interesting. I did not know that you couldn't do that.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
That is very interesting. Didn't know that.
Huh.
Yeah, but that does suck. Because the ad-less version of Hulu is very annoying. Hulu, please, for the love of God, try and find some more advertisers. I don't mind having ads in my content. I do mind having one
ad over and over again.
There was a point. It was a car commercial. I can't remember what car commercial it was, but it just played. For a month. It was the only ad on my Hulu, and I was like, I barely can afford Hulu. What makes you think I can afford this car that you are selling so hard?
You're like, this is just making me angry.
Oh my gosh, we've done a half hour on this.
Sorry, guys.
It's fine. You know what? There wasn't a lot of news today, so I'm glad we had something to talk about. Y'all, we're gonna move on to our next story really quick. So we got a couple other things to get through. Millie Bobby Brown. We talked earlier about Millie Bobby Brown and the Russos working on a movie together. It's gonna be called The Electric State. This is
the action movie.
This is this is not the Netflix action movie. This is going to be a theatrical release with Universal. And it's very exciting that people are still announcing theatrical releases. This movie won't come out until the production won't go until 2021 or early 2022. But the movie is described as an alternate future that focuses on a teenage girl who realizes that a strange robot who comes to her has actually been sent by her missing brother. She and the robot set out to find her brother in an imaginative world of humans mixing with all manner of robots, uncovering a grand conspiracy in the process.
Huh.
Yes. So Millie Bobby Brown is doing a Millie Bobby Brown movie.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I love... she has carved out the most interesting niche.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, she must have a great agent.
Truly.
Her agent is on top of their game.
Well, she's just also so beloved. Like, she can do whatever she wants, so people are down.
Yeah, people who go see whatever Millie Bobby Brown. I would go see whatever she's in.
Well, yeah, we sat down for Enola Holmes because we were like, Millie Bobby Brown, Henry Cavill?
I mean, yeah, Henry Cavill as well.
I mean, he's hot.
Yeah.
He's so attractive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to say the same about her because she's too young. Stop sexualizing Millie Bobby Brown, internet. Yeah. Stop doing it.
She's a child. Please
stop it.
Cease and desist.
Jesus.
Oh God, no! But I seriously, I would go. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go see this.
Yeah, I love that the Russos are branching out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that they're trying new things. They're doing this like spy thriller, The Gray Man, for Netflix, which has an incredible cast. And then we're also getting this Electric State. There was actually some casting news on that Gray Man movie.
Oh yeah.
The spy movie for Netflix. Jessica Henwick from Iron Fist, inarguably the best part of the Iron Fist Netflix show. Is going to be in that movie, and I love her, and I'm very happy to hear that. I want Jessica Henwick to be in everything.
Nice.
Yeah, she's an actress I think that deserves a lot more work. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to see what she is doing in Gray Man alongside that ridiculous cast. Yeah. In some good news for the movie theaters that we've been talking about, the new coronavirus relief bill that was passed in the United States just yesterday, a welcome relief that probably won't do enough. The $600 is being laughed at pretty unanimously across the country as being a ridiculously low amount of money to put in for individual families. But the COVID relief bill earmarks $15 billion for movie venues and live event venues, which is a welcome relief for those industries who are definitely hurting.
Yeah. They're gonna need it. They're gonna need it. We've talked about it a few times where we hope that movie theaters survive, and we've talked about that. We think that they will be okay as long as they get some help. Mm-hmm. And I think that $15 billion is definitely help.
Yeah.
So it's I feel weird. I feel weird because I'm happy about it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yay, this is great. But also, just how it was distributed, how this money was distributed is questionable. Mm-hmm. But keeping to like the nerdy news part of the show, this is good news.
This is good news for movie theaters. Hardcore Soft Popcorn says too little too late in the chat, and you know what? I hope you're wrong.
Yeah.
We're not going to know until next year, and I do believe that this... here's the thing. If it's just this, it's not going to be enough. There is going to have to be a stimulus at the beginning of next year.
Right.
And there just is going to be. And it's going to be important that the government comes together to help these businesses...
Yes.
In the future.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen or when that's going to happen. But this is the beginning of a road back, not the road back.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of... Look, heading into 2021, there's going to be a lot of conversations that have to happen about how to save our cultural institutions.
Yeah.
And not just movie theaters. I'm talking theaters, like live theaters. I'm talking like galleries, museums, places like that are really struggling right now. Mm-hmm. That are the backbone of our culture. We're going to have some sort of plan to save our cultural places.
Yeah.
And not just the big ones too, the small ones, the small theaters, especially the theaters that cater towards audiences of color, disabled audiences. I really want to make sure, I'm hoping that we are going to find a way to stimulate those businesses as well so that they survive.
Well, and it's unfortunate there's already been so many small... independently owned restaurants / entertainment venues, those kinds of things that have already they weren't able to survive.
Yeah.
And some of these places have been historical landmarks, and it is truly tragic, and I hope that we can save at least a few of them.
Yeah. And to segue out of that, Real John Roth, thank you for saying I'm hot. I appreciate that.
He's not bad.
Could be better. Y'all, our last story of the day today is going to be Cyberpunk. I know you're probably sick of hearing us talk about Cyberpunk.
It's the news, guys.
But Cyberpunk got a little interesting over the weekend because the investors who gave CD Projekt Red the money for the game might be suing CD Projekt Red. One complaint alleges that CD Projekt may have issued materially misleading information to their shareholders and investing public. And so there is potential for a class action lawsuit against the company for publishing the game and not being forthcoming about the state of the game on last-gen consoles, which has obviously been a problem. We talked last week about how the Sony store removed the game, and you can only buy it brick and mortar, and how Xbox and Microsoft are keeping it up for now, but they're going to reevaluate that should the promised changes that the patches are supposed to bring not actually change anything.
Yikes.
Yikes, indeed. This is so unprecedented. I've never... this launch has been such a bizarre...
Yeah. It has been all over the place.
Thank you for subscribing, Real John Raw. Welcome to the Nerd Table. You didn't make it weird. Don't worry.
Oh, hi, Lexi. That's my friend, Lexi.
Real life friends.
Real life friends.
We don't have many of those anymore, so it's fun when you're here.
Shh, stop it. Don't say that. Yeah, it's... yeah, I have never... We talked about this.
Yeah.
Never heard of a video game like this size being literally pulled out of the Sony store.
100%. Yeah.
Like a AAA title having to get pulled from the store, and now maybe this has happened before and I just didn't know, but now this possibility of them being sued by their investors.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's wild, and I feel weird about it because I love this game, and I'm having such... Here's the thing, and I'm gonna be very honest. I am having such an incredible time playing Cyberpunk, and I'm not having a lot of problems. I did have a big problem at the end of stream last night, which I kind of I just ended my stream over because I was like, I can't keep doing...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I missed that.
At the end of my stream last night, I got to a point where I couldn't progress.
Oh.
I just got stuck in this room, this hallway with this girl. And she just was walking very slowly, and then I ran ahead to the elevator, and then I did that so she caught up with me, but when she caught up with me, the next dialogue option wouldn't happen because I had skipped the conversation. Right. So I just got stuck, and then I was like, I don't want to go through that very slow walking thing on stream again, so I ended my stream.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I haven't had a lot of problems, and I love... I'm obsessed. All I want to do is play Cyberpunk right now. Yeah. I might, I don't know, find a way to play a little bit before your stream today. I'm shocked. I have a problem. And so it's sad for me that the experience for other people isn't what I'm having, because I'm having such a good experience with this game. Well,
no, there are a lot of people who are loving it. That you are not alone in that respect. I think we have just been fairly lucky when it comes to the technical glitches.
Yeah, me more so than you. You've had more problems with it than I have. Weirdly.
Well, I had it crash a few times, but that was about it. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. We're definitely going to keep our eyes on this because a lawsuit like this would be a real... would be a game changer for video games. I haven't seen anything like it. Yeah. And I would be very curious to see what kind of ramifications games in the future would face. And whether or not a lawsuit like this could extend towards video game delays and things like that, where investors could sue over a misleading release date being put out. A game like Halo Infinite delaying by a year because they put out marketing materials that weren't very good.
I don't know. That would be really tough to win a lawsuit over, I feel like, because you can't the marketing department pushes for, we need to hype this up, we need a date, we need a thing to work towards, we need a goal. They need that. They need that information. And so even if you're not sure if the game will be ready, you have to at least aim for something.
100%. But from an investor's point of view, if this lawsuit works, I do wonder what... anytime a lawsuit works, it opens possibilities of other legal challenges to situations, and I do wonder what the long-term ramifications of a lawsuit about something like this would be. Yeah. And I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Drifted Normal is saying in the chat, I'm glad I waited to play it, but bugs with a new release is not common.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a base or a slim PlayStation 4 or a base Xbox, I would say wait until late January or February to buy the game.
Mm-hmm.
Wait until the patches come out and see if it works. If you have a PC, PS5, or Xbox Series X, PS Pro,
mm-hmm.
if you've got any of those systems, and if you have a PC, obviously you have to have a certain level of graphics card.
Yeah.
You buy it. It's great. It's a very fun game.
Ford of Nerd is saying that he would rather wait to have a complete finished game than a rushed one, and we've actually talked about this on the show before, that people involved in CD Projekt Red were getting death threats because they pushed it back once. Because they delayed. And so that's unfortunately the kind of like gamer culture that has been brought, like a light has been shone on it, and it sucks, and I am the same. I would rather you delay the game and you give me something solid, but CD Projekt Red, I'm sure, doesn't see it that way.
There's also an element of you don't know how the game is going to play for people until they have it.
True.
And like there's a reason CD Projekt Red put in Cyberpunk, like, if there's a problem with the game, do you mind if we collect that information from your console?
Yeah.
And the reason for that is they can play test it for days and days and days, and they can try and do everything in the game to make it work. Mm-hmm. But I'm sorry, some speedrunner is going to figure out some hole in some wall that gets them to the final boss 3 seconds in.
Yeah.
Some speedrunner is going to realize that if you play as Link and you walk backwards out the door in Kokiri Forest, you end up in the final boss fight of the first dungeon. Like, gamers are going to break your video game no matter what you do.
Well, but that's why I honestly think all games should have a beta phase.
Like, yeah, but then there's a story element. I understand that's so complicated, right? Like, it's so complicated.
I guess it's just like it's been helpful for a lot of big games like Baldur's Gate. They did such a big overhaul for their game because they put it out in beta. But
the betas for games like that of that size are usually more about the co-op elements and not about fixing the game. Right. Like the Avengers Beta was about trying to figure out how to get the matchmaking to work. They do the beta for Cold War because they want to make sure that the matchmaking is going to work. Like, it's usually about
that's fair.
What is the actual server issues that we deal with in our multiplayer? Mm-hmm. It is tough. I think it's putting out a beta for a story driven game is tough because if it's about the story, then that is the game.
Yeah.
If you have the story experience, a lot of people are not going to play through the story after they've beaten the story.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. If you have the game in beta, like, I mean, when Avengers was fully released, you didn't really touch it.
I did for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because there was but the beta didn't have all the content. Like, I played all the content.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right. I think for this particular situation, I think maybe they should have just released it for next gen and PC.
100%. I agree with that.
But they didn't, and now they're in this position.
Yep.
So we're going to have to see how that goes.
And honestly, they're going to be fine. Long term, they're going to be fine. Because here's the thing. I truly believe the game is good. And I think that, like, they're going to make money. Long term, the game is going to continue to sell because here's the thing. There are a lot of people who are like, I'm not going to buy it until it works.
Yep.
But when it works, they're going to buy it. Like, if the February patch fixes the game, the people are going to buy it and they're going to play through it, and people are going. I honestly believe people are going to love this video game for a long time.
Yeah.
It
is revolutionary in a sense.
Nah, well, yeah, it's good.
I mean, no. Here's the thing. It in its scale, I would say. Like,
in storytelling, yeah. I'll talk about it more.
It's a huge game.
I'll talk about it more in my review. There's some things about it that are not revolutionary.
Oh, for sure.
The combat is not revolutionary.
You can't push all the boundaries.
But with that, y'all, we're coming to the end of our show here. So I just want to say thank you. We have some new faces in chat.
Yeah.
And the numbers on YouTube have been going up. Some of these morning shows are getting crazy views, which is fun.
Yeah.
So I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's watching over there. And a massive thank you to our patrons. You make this possible. You have no idea the support that you give us and the things that you make possible on our channel.
Yes.
So we're excited for some Patreon-only content coming up this week. The Patron podcast will be up tonight. We missed last week, which we're going to have to We might have to do two. We might do 2 patron podcasts this week to make up for it.
Yeah.
We might do a special like Christmas podcast on Friday.
We got some cosplay content coming at you.
Content.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be fun. And as always, you can catch us out across the internet. Go check out our TikToks. Our TikTok, we're trying to make things work over there, and we're having a good time. Yeah.
Honestly, TikTok is fun.
TikTok, that's the thing. TikTok is the most fun social media.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. It's more casual. I don't feel as much pressure that like because it's not my friends who see my content, because it's like the public. It feels less personal.
It's fine.
Because if I put something on Instagram and my friends don't like it, I'm like, oh wow, what does that say about me?
Yeah.
But if a bunch of strangers don't like my TikTok, that's less pressure.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. What are you doing today?
I'm gonna be playing some Skyrim later.
Night King.
Someone sent me a few more mods I might take a look at and install, actually. I'm gonna have to figure out how to not like unbreak my game, but my undead army has reached a certain point where Skyrim doesn't seem to be able to handle it anymore. So I'm going to have to get rid of a few of my zombies, because I think I have like 39 or something like that. Very fun.
Real Genre, thank you for the biddies.
John, thank you so much.
What a way to end the show. Y'all, that stream is going to be over at Claris Dracaris.
That's me.
At 3 o'clock Eastern. And I will be back later this week streaming. No game stream until Thursday this week. Because Wednesday night, we are doing the public movie night in the Discord.
Yeah, we're going to be watching The Nightmare Before Christmas, so please join the Discord if you want to get in on that.
Yeah.
And we are going to raid out after the show. So if you are new, please stick around after we say goodbye for our podcast and YouTube watchers.
All right, y'all. As we always say, my name's David Webb.
I'm Arielle Edwards.
Do something nerdy tonight. Bye-bye.
Bye.